Hi friends, and welcome to layout number 3 of our Evergreen Creative Design Studio. I had so much fun with this layout and doing the 8x12 flip flap here. Never mind my little anti-static pouch powder that's on the layout there. I didn't realize it was on the green until after I took the pictures. But I had so much fun with these layouts. I already have photos on them. So let's get started. We are going to start with the Rosemary 12x12 as our base for the right side of layout number 3. And you're going to want your Versamat. It's very important to line things up and see how I put that striped zip strip down to the right of the 8-inch mark. After the striped zip strip, I added the green pattern and then the other patterned paper to the right and filled in with that little tiny piece of glitter paper. The glitter paper may overlap your other papers, but that's okay. Now we're going to add in these photo mats over here, and this is going to be underneath the 8x12 flip flap. I started with the bottom 2, then did the top 2, and then filled in with the middle 2. That helps to just get them lined up. And after we have these down, then we are going to move on to the 8x12 flip flap portion. We will come back and embellish this afterwards. Okay, so here you see I've laid out what the inside of this 8x12 flip flap is going to look like. We're putting down that pattern paper. Now notice this glitter strip is going on top of the paper over that line that was there. We're going to add in 2 4x6 photo mat. And then this journaling area with the glitter paper. You can again gut that glitter if you choose to make it easier and also to save your paper. Okay, and then I'm just going to put these down. So quick and easy. This is going to be the inside of the flip flap. And then the other side of this flip flap is going to look like what our layout was intended to look like before we added the flip flap. So see, you want to make sure that this that striped zip strip is to the right of the 8-inch mark because you want to make sure that you have 8 inches on this side. Now we're going to complete this portion of the 8x12 flip flap just per the workshop instruction. The only difference is that I added in that glitter paper. Now really when you're adhering to glitter paper, you should either gut the center out or you should put glue dots in there. It's really hard for adhesive to stick to glitter paper. Now I'm going to remove the bottom part of this layout out, so we are just focusing on this 8x12 flip flap top here, and we're going to make this, like I said, look just like our layout. The only difference is that I did add that glitter paper. Now I put some pencil marks there, you just saw, so that I could know where to put my color. And just like in the other layouts, I'm using mostly that speckled egg, I think it's called, because I didn't want a lot of that really bright green. I wanted more of the muted speckled egg color. Okay, so now that I've added in the Distressed Oxide ink, I'm putting these pieces down and trying to get them straight and lined up, of course. I'm going to erase that pencil mark, but I did find that it was hard to erase the pencil mark once I had the Distressed Oxide ink on it. All right, but it does get covered up. So now we're going to start working on the left side. Don't worry, we are going to come back to finish these up. I just wanted to add in the color here while I had the Distressed Oxide inks out. Okay, so we're going to line these up on the left-hand side of layout number 2. I'm sorry, the left-hand side of layout number 3, right? And that glitter paper again goes over the top, over that stripe. Okay, so now we're gonna put this Distressed Oxide ink down just a little bit. And then we're going to place this photo mat here per the workshop instruction. Next, we're going to work on this journaling spot. Notice how I lifted up the cardstock just a little bit above, and I'm adding in the zip strip behind it. I'm doing that instead of the sticker there. Why you waste that whole sticker? And also in the cut guide, I mentioned that I forgot to give you a measurement. It's for this 3x3 photo spot here that I'm just now putting down. I gave you the measurements for the glitter paper, but I forgot to give you the measurement for the cardstock. So it's 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Now we're going to add the Distressed Oxide ink along the bottom of this layout on the right hand side here. And then we can place down that glitter paper, pine cardstock, and photo mat underneath there. I just felt like we could add another photo there. Why not? And you'll see how it travels across so that the photos line up. Those 3x3 photos line up. Now we're going to start adding in these little, I guess they're hexagon shapes here. And I did play with these a little bit to try to figure out how was the best way that I wanted to put them down. And you'll find what works best for you. But you know, I like to fuss, and here I go fussing with trying to get them in just the perfect spot, right? You'll also notice that one of them is going to be cut in half as it travels across the 2 pages from left to right in order to, you'll cut it in half in order to connect the 2 pages so that they travel across. And once you have these all laid out how you want them, then you can just start adding your adhesive behind them and putting them all down. Once you've completed that, we're ready to start embellishing, and here are some of the stickers and die cuts that you'll need. You'll see that I'm putting this a baby it's cold outside sticker up there. I did complete that per the workshop instruction, but you'll see later in mine, I actually ended up putting a photo over that whole section right there because I had other places for journaling and didn't quite need that journaling spot, and I had an extra photo, so why not? Once we finish the embellishments on the journaling spot there, we are going to move over to that 4x6 photo spot and complete the cluster of embellishments up here at the top. I just love all the clustering of the embellishments and how it travels your eye across your layout. We also try to keep our embellishment clusters to odd numbers. Have you ever noticed that? It makes it much more appealing to your eye when you have 3, 5, 7s, right, in your embellishment. So here I am putting this cluster together up here. I forgot the little center in that other flower, so I had to go back and add it. You may also notice that there are some snowflake embellishments that can be added on this layout. I did not add them on mine. We are having a very crazy and mild winter here in Michigan, and we have not had snow, and we're not having snow for Christmas. So I chose not to add them at this time, but you can add them if you would like to include them in your layout. Now we're going to start working on our embellishments for the right side. So the first thing I'm going to do is put this layout together with the 8x12 flip flap there so I can embellish it as a whole, because that's how it's going to be seen in our page protector, right? You're going to see this as one flat layout with, surprise, it opens up with a flip flap, right? So I want to complete the embellishments with it all together here. Make sure that when you're putting this together though, that journaling spot needs to stay to the right of the 8-inch line, or it's going to be underneath your flip flap, right? So now I'm just adding in the flowers and the different embellishments. I just love this little church or house. What I'm not quite sure what that was, but we had pictures taken, my husband and our dog Juno had pictures with Santa in this little country greenhouse, and I thought that that little house sticker was perfect for these layout. You notice I also added just a touch of the Distressed Oxide ink to that flower there as well. I thought that that really made it stand out and draw attention to the house and the flower separately because they were both pretty much the same color before. Don't forget to add your 3D foam tape, and if you notice, I often use two different thicknesses of 3D foam tape so you have different layers of dimension in your layouts. The dimension, the shimmer, the shine, the bling all make such a difference in your layouts. It's all in the little details. I just love my little mini all-purpose mat here. It's perfect for adding adhesive to the back of little things, and it doesn't make a mess. You don't get adhesive where you don't want it. The adhesive sticks directly to the place you want it instead of all over everything else. Now we're ready to start doing our embellishments on the inside of the flip flap, and I did move these around a couple of times trying to decide where was the best place to put things. I always put the majority of my embellishments on the front side of the layout because that's really where your most impact is going to be. We love the interaction of our flip flaps, right? But I'd like to have the majority of the embellishment on the front side. And then just a little touch of embellishment on the inside. Lastly, we're going to add some Stickles gel here on our layouts because of course we want to add that little bling and sparkle, right? These layouts are absolutely beautiful, and once the Stickles dries, we will then do our flip flap.